Welcome to another episode of Geekoutdoors.com. And CES, the Consumer Electronics Show 2016, pretty much just wrapped up in Las Vegas. And one of the biggest things there was VR, or virtual reality. So on this episode, I wanted to talk about the Oculus Rift and its amazing price of just $600. I also want to talk about the Samsung VR and VR Pron. So stick around for this episode. We'll see you back in just a moment. Now, before I get to the Oculus Rift, let's first take a look at the Samsung Galaxy VR. This is co-developed with Oculus. And so as you can see, it's a pretty simple setup. You got the VR headset there, and the phone goes right in the front panel. And as you can see on the right, there is this navigation menus, and there's a little button right there. That's how you navigate through the menus. And then the power button's right there in the top right. And right there are the two screens. And here, you could adjust how far you want the screen. And there you put in your phone. Now, it has to be a Samsung Galaxy S6 phone, or Note in this case. So let's go ahead and put it on. You notice there's two straps on the right and the left, so you don't actually have to hold it all the time once you get it in. And at first, when you put on the headset, it's kind of disorienting, and it's kind of blurry at first, so you kind of have to adjust your eyes, and at a certain point, things clear up. But that's kind of the problem I had right at the beginning. You kind of have to focus things. And, here you're kind of navigating through the menu. And as I stated earlier, there's a navigation button on the right. So when you find what you want, you just press the button. And at least here on this demo experience here at Best Buy, there's two main demos. One of them is like a Cirque du Soleil type demo, which is the better of the two. And the other one is like an ocean under the water stuff, which isn't quite as great, But the first one, the Cirque du Soleil one, the circus one, it didn't really work most of the time. So that's kind of sucks. But so it's really hard to get used to this at first. Once again, like I said, it's blurry and it's not quite clear. But when you get it in there, it's kind of cool. But then there's points where you just kind of get dizzy, And then when you get to like the underwater experience, it's cool, you can look all around and everything, but the graphics aren't that great. And I understand this is just a demo. So, it's a cool experience, but, the software's not there yet, and the experience isn't completely virtual. And, once again, you kind of have to have the Samsung Galaxy phones in order to make this work. But it is a great price at $99. So one of the biggest things to come out of CES 2016, as I mentioned earlier, is VR, or virtual reality technology. And the one that had the biggest news was Oculus Rift. They're finally announcing shipments of their production models. Their first shipments is going to be on March 28th. And the thing that's really, really blowing up on the internet is the fact that the price starts at $600. Now, wow. Now, for $600, you basically get this whole Oculus kit. So you get an Xbox controller, get a remote, the Oculus Rift headset, and also a mic and a sensor. And that's really not the only thing that you need. In order to get the full Oculus Rift experience, you're going to have a pretty powerful PC to run it. Now, here are the minimum requirements. You're going to need a graphics card with either NVIDIA GTX 970 or AMD R9 or greater, an Intel i5 or greater, 8 gigs of RAM. You got to have 3 USB ports, 3.0 ports, by the way, and 1 USB 2.0 port. And this is only available for Windows. And so, sorry, Mac users. And if you think about your PC for that, it's going to cost you. Like, if you look down here at their Oculus Ready PCs, you're looking at around $1,000. And so you can get a quote-unquote special if you pre-order this as a bundle. You could get it for like $1,500, $1,600. But, wow, that's just a lot of money, And although the Oculus is great technology, this is not going to appeal to the masses. I'm sorry. I don't care how cool it is. I mean, you're not really looking at $600. You're looking at around $1,600, because without that PC to go with it, you're not going to get the full experience. Now, if it was just $600 just for the headset alone, maybe, if it worked without the PC, I could see possibly if you're a really early adopter and you really like tech, maybe you'd pay for it. But for everyone else, I think this is way too much. And if it was like maybe around $300, and once again without the need for a very powerful PC, I wish it would just run without it. I think it would be more, more plausible for the masses. But at this point, that's way too much money, y'all. I'm not going to be paying that much money. I'm more probably of a Google Cardboard type guy, so I think that's about $35. So now that's pretty much my thoughts on the Oculus Rift. I really do not think that at this price point, and especially the requirement for a power PC, definitely not going to be for the masses at the beginning. So now, ending off this VR episode, I know this is the one that you really wanted to hear about, and that's VR porn. So CNET had a really interesting article, a nice title by the way, about VR porn. And like it or not, the pornography industry, they're usually the very first industry to try out new technologies. If you look back at like history, whether that would be the VHS tape, the beta tapes, the Laserdisc industry, the DVD industry, the internet industry, whatever, and usually pornography is the very first industry to take advantage of it. And that makes sense. I mean, admit it or not, a lot of people really, really love pornography. And so the first major company to take advantage of it is Naughty America. Now, Naughty America, they're pretty big in the porn industry, and they have something called virtual porn. And they did show a sample of this on CNET, and it's not really anything risque. It's just women dressing in, just sexy clothing. But the experience, to be honest with you, that looked a lot better than any of the game demos that they had. And it's something that people could actually relate to. Which is really funny. And so it is compatible with the Samsung Gear VR, the Oculus Rift, of course, and also even a Google Cardboard. And so, so it's really funny that this industry is probably going to do better with this new technology than the gaming industry, which is pretty much the target market originally. So that is pretty much it for this VR episode, y'all. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, do you think that this is something that you would actually get into at the beginning? And if so, what is your choice? Like, are you going to get this Oculus Rift VR, the Samsung Galaxy VR, the Google Cardboard VR? So, leave your comments and below down there. And I'm going to wrap this episode up. So after seeing that episode, I guess you're ready to put down $1,500 for that whole Oculus Rift experience, right? Right? Well, I am. But honestly, I don't think VR is there yet, especially at the price point. If I was going to pick up a VR headset right now, I'd probably just pick up the Google Cardboard. The Samsung VR, it was kind of cool, but, like I was saying in the episode, it's still not there yet. It's kind of dizzy, and $100 is a great price, but they got to definitely make some more improvements, especially to the software. So more software needed, and some improvements on things such as that, being dizzy and so forth. And so that is pretty much it for this episode. If you enjoyed these episodes, be sure to click the subscribe button. And as always, for full written episodes and additional content, head out to Geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.